Right, something different for Campbell's comments. Here at the Dumbalk Country Campdraft, and I'm catching up with a very, very familiar face, Ken Boulton. Hello, mate.
How are you, mate? Long time no see.
Well, actually, it hasn't been that long. Like Chinchilla wasn't that long ago.
No, it's only a couple of months. Yeah.
You must have been wrapped when I knocked on the door.
Scared. I don't like publicity.
Well, we did Chinchilla, and you'd had another great camp draft there, and we might touch on how your year has been with all your camp drafts and what it is about them. But you suggested to me that I should come here, and I'll be honest, it's pretty stinker in central Victoria today. So me and the daughter decided, well, we'll get in the car and come and see about this camp draft. And first impressions are, wow, amount of people, wow, for the countryside. Like there's two massive ticks here. I don't know about the cattle. I haven't been here long enough. I could lie, but I mean, it's just there is a wow factor about this camp draft, mate.
Well, there's Ian Hesberger and his team are tireless workers. They had Ian's son got married only a fortnight ago or thereabouts, and they had that on top of this, but he doesn't back off. He just keeps going. And with all the cattle donors, it is a beautiful valley here in Dumbalk, and it is the pinnacle of the camp drafting in Gippsland. There's a lot of Queenslanders, there's Queenslanders here, people from everywhere. And we got what we call the Longhorn Open. That's the prestige draft of the weekend. I was fortunate enough last year to accomplish that one, and I hope someone else worthy gets it this year. But it's a great sport, and I think the pressure comes on over there the other night. They have a shootout. It's only one shot shootout, and the pressure was enormous. There was, I think, about 9 or so 92s, 2 93s, and it was great to be a part of it. And I think, full credit to this committee. I donated them 300 cattle, but we're proud to do it because to help it go.
The camp driving is an amazing world, and I haven't done it for a long time. I've been probably covering Chinchilla for the last 3 years. This last just gone. Was fortunate enough to be at Dolby. I've done Nutrient Classic as well, so I've been able to see quite a few, Tumut and the rest. Don't matter where you go, you get invited in. Like I knocked on your door.
Yep. And
you said, come in, and I said you didn't know who it was, but you said yes you did because you looked out the door. Like when someone knocks on the door, you basically do just say, come in. There's something amazing about camp drafting.
It is.
That people want to come and help everywhere, help it grow, don't they?
No, it is. I always say with camp drafting, you're welcomed in and you kick yourself out.
Yep, great. Yeah.
And that's how I see it. There's a lot of wonderful people in camp drafting. I'm in the cattle industry. A lot of the people in camp drafting are in the cattle industry. And the good part about it with camp drafters, you never think you're better than the other guy. Because if you start thinking that, you're in for a big shock.
You do get knocked down pretty quick. You get a couple of scores. I know Ruffy's here, Mark Ruff's here, and we're at Chinchilla, and I think, what do you have, 6 out of 7? I think they're all above 85. Like he was through to the Open, he had a huge run. And he did not make the final. It can bring you down that easy, can't it?
It can, and the thing about it is, you've only got one person to beat, or not person, one thing to beat, and that is the beast. And your own calmness, keep your mind right. And I try to help people that get, they go in the camp, and I fully understand. When they go in the camp, they're a bundle of nerves, and I say to them, just always remember, nerves are your enemy. So you go in and you can talk to yourself through your mind, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and don't freeze up with nerves. And I think over the years that's helped me, and I love helping people, and because they're great people. Yeah. And as I say, I've known these guys here. You can go into any camp here and they'll give you a cup of tea. Yep. There's no problems about it.
I can vouch for that, because I keep saying I'm an outsider, but I'm not. But anywhere, and it doesn't matter where you go. People get a shock when they see you somewhere, I must say. But some people are actually happy to see me. Other people are like, oh no, surely he's not here. Will Durkin still doesn't like me, but that's okay. We can get over that.
He's a little bit like me, camera shy.
How important, you said that about for cattle, people like yourself that buy and sell cattle, and that is your living. But how important is it to the communities, and especially the small communities? Like I've seen what the big ones do, like Chinchilla. I've been fortunate enough to be there for 3 years now. Went to Dolby this year and saw what it does for the communities. But a town like Dumbalk, you know, the address for this camp draft is actually just Dumbalk because it's that small. You can't not find it. How important are these things for these communities?
Well, I know in Victoria all the community things are dying.
Yeah.
They're all going to the bigger cities. Kids are leaving home and going to the bigger cities, and it is sad. When I was a kid, there was a lot of community activity, and over the years it has died. And I think something like this, I think it's a credit to the Dumbalk Camp Draft that you've got Queenslanders here and New South people. They all come because they hear about the Dumbalk Camp Draft. And people are gamblers in a way because everyone come here to win the big money. But it's a bit harder than just coming here to win it.
Yeah.
You've got to really work for it. I'm fortunate enough I got three back into the second round. What happens there, I may only get one back in, or I might not get any in. But that's the challenge of the sport.
Yeah.
And you take what comes.
How big is camp drafting in Gippsland? Like, how many camp drafts would they have?
I think we have about 12.
Yep,
about 12. And we also travel out of the areas. But, yeah, we have 12. And when you're running your work at home, 12, you think, well, 12's enough, But then when we go away, we do a winter trip. Alice and I do a winter trip up into Queensland. And we get across in the territory, and all I can say is camp drafting, as I say, we love the northern people and especially the Territorian people. You can be there, and we were late in getting to Katherine, and our timing was a bit wrong. So we ring up people we know over there. Oh, yeah, call in a such and such station. They'll put you up. No worries. You don't even know the people. And that's the best part of it.
It's the way Australia should be, isn't it?
Too right it is. But you get, and unfortunately, when I was always on the roads with cattle, we drove them so far. We'd pull up and camp them in a holding paddock, put the horse in there, leave the saddle on the ground, get out and hitchhike a ride home with my dog, and then get a ride back the next morning. Today, well, no one will pick you up for a start. And you're not allowed to drive cattle. But it's sad for me because I see how trusting it was then, and today, unfortunately, the country people are still there, but you've got that element of protection. Yeah. We have changed their ways, and we're forced to.
It's a great social event. My daughter, she doesn't do a lot in it. She's been to Tumut, I think, is about the only one that she has been to. A bit of a different one for some people, but she just loves it. And some of the people who know her will say, they say good day to her. A couple of ladies were talking to her up there, said about her show. They don't even know her. They only know that through me. This is, and I'm only saying that, I'm not involved in her. That's the sort of community that it is, and people do take a vested interest. There is, you say about communities dying and all the rest. Horse events are. Pony clubs. So many pony clubs right across Australia are struggling for numbers, not just Victoria and things along those lines. Camp drafting is growing. I know a lot of people keep saying to me, don't publicise it, Paul, because we don't want to make it harder to get in and it's harder to get runs. Don't publicise it. But we need to, because it is such a great sport. Whether it's Yellowstone or what, I don't know, but it is just a magic sport that is growing and growing. And I think people need to be aware of it because it is a unique community once you get into a camp draft community. Well,
I think, see my saddle box there, I can leave it open all day. And the same as everybody around the ground. We're all honest people.
Yep.
And what is ours, and that's how it is. That's the golden rule. And it's very heartbreaking. I have in the time, over the past, you might get kids come out of a town and, run amok or whatever. But you can understand that. But if it's kids within our own thing, we get very disappointed, which we haven't had that problem.
Yep.
And it is a truly unique Australian sport. And as I say, I don't compete against people. I compete against my stupid brain at times. I get mad with myself, picking the wrong beast and let my horse down. But when you've got it right, you pick the right beast, you put up the big run, you don't get a better feeling than that.
Out of curiosity, how young are you? I know the answer.
75 and a half, 6 months left.
How long you been camp drafting?
Oh, Jesus. Hang on. About 1976 or 7.
I'm a 72 model, so that'll make you feel a little bit old. That might. We won't put an age. We won't put an actual age onto it. Do you enjoy, like I say to you there before about people saying, don't publicise, do you enjoy the direction that it is heading now and the competitive part of it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. One of the pinnacles of my achievements in drafting is we're at Condamine this year, 600 in it, 75,000 to win, and in the final there was 3 generations in it. Myself, my daughter and my grandson. You don't get much better than that.
Nah, and that's one. And all on even play in fields.
Yep. There's no love in war.
No, no. Did any of yous win? No.
No. Wait a minute. No, my grandson he got a place.
Yeah.
He got a place. And you know, it's not all about winning. It's like, to me that was a win.
Yeah.
And you know, I think, and the thing that really got me at Chinchilla and Condamine and Murray, there was of the 3 drafts, I missed out in the Gold Cup in that top 10, but the other 3, the restricted open, which was 230 in at Chinchilla, the Grandfather Clock and the Condamine Bell, I was in the top 10 of those, and at my age, Christ, I reckon I've got nothing to complain about.
But you say about age, Terry Hall, John McHugh,
John Mulcahy.
Mulcahy, sorry.
Yeah.
There's no other way of saying it. They're all old. I mean, you are old people that should be putting your foot up, going into a retirement home. Not one of you has got any intention of doing that, have you? That's the great part about this sport.
Well, the 3 you mentioned, they're pretty stubborn people.
I haven't noticed. I keep asking Terry to take that bloody toothpick out, but he won't.
No, he was born with that, I think. But no, I think what really, I was a Chinchilla this year, and we're in the lineup. I got 7th in Grandfather Clock, and the way those young blokes, they give me heaps, you know, you old bugger, you're our grandfather and all the rest of it. But they have the utmost respect.
Yep.
And that is as good as winning.
Yeah.
You know, and here the other night in the shootout, I don't hear, when I'm competing, I don't hear people much. But in there, we're right beside the camp, they're all beside, and they're all barracking for me. That's terrific.
That is all you can do. Kenny, thank you.
No worries.
You're not going to invite me to another camp draft, are you? Because I'll knock up on another one. The beauty of this one is, though, like Kate Jones and those, they say, oh, you only look after them Victorians, you only look after... Katie, if you're watching, this is all Victorians. Don't you worry about that. I'll be leaving everyone else alone. We'll just do Ruffy, Craig McNabb. Although he lives in New South Wales, he is a Victorian, so there's no problems there. So I'll make sure I'll look after all the Vics first and go from there. It's good to see camp drafting is going strong, mate, and I'm glad you invited me. It's been well and truly worth it, even just for the drive. But I encourage other people, if they're watching this, get your backsides here because it's a great event.
Yeah, I just feel very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too, because I get to know you, so it's all good.
Well, 75, Christ. What more can you get?
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thank you.